Hey, I want to talk to you today about a conundrum that we run across in copywriting and in selling and communications in general. And it's sort of like this invisible wall between you and the person you're trying to communicate with, right? And it can really hurt your sales, hurt your revenues, hurt your conversion rates. And so let me show you how this works. Have you ever asked for directions, like you're lost and you ask somebody for directions and they go on about, oh yeah, you turn left over at Farnham's Farm and then over at the gas station you turn right, but don't forget because there's a U-turn over in the middle of the highway and all this stuff. And they know all of the neighborhood, but you don't have a clue. You're standing there going, I don't know what he just said. I'm just as lost as I was before, right? Well, it's because, and we tend to do that as communicators, and it's because we've got this notion, or we've got all this information inside of us that we don't know that other people don't know, right? So it's actually, there's a term for this, it's called the curse of knowledge, right? And you've got to get through that. You've got to get over that if you want to communicate effectively with people in your emails, your ad copy, your landing pages, any of these things, your sales scripts, if you want to be successful, if you want to be effective and grow your sales, right? So let me give you an example of how this actually works and what tends to happen in a real life situation. So what I want you to do, let's conduct an experiment. I want you to do a little experiment with me right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clap out the melody for a tune, except I'm not going to hum it for you. I'm not going to tell you what the name of the tune is or anything. I know it's one you've heard before, but what I want you to do is guess what it is. And all I'm going to do is just clap it, okay? So are you ready? Here we go. Okay, did you get that? No, you didn't? Maybe you did. If you did, you're probably a musical genius, and I'll tell you why here in a second. But if you didn't, don't feel too bad, right? And here's why. Back in 1990, a young lady conducted an experiment, and she actually got her PhD through this experiment she conducted, where she paired up a number of people where there was kind of like what we just did here, where there was a clapper and then there was a listener, okay? And that was their assignment, just like we just did. And the clappers were asked after that happened and before the listener had a chance to guess or to say what the name of the tune was, how they were asked, did the listener understand, do you think the listener understood what you just tried to communicate? And over 50% of the clappers were certain that they'd communicated it effectively. Well, guess what the result was actually? What was the actual percentage of listeners who could hear what the melody was? It was like 2%, right? So there's this tremendous gap, and we run across this all the time. I run across this in my work in copywriting, and anytime that you attempt to create a new ad campaign, a sales or marketing promotion, we run into this problem. We've got to be very, very clear on what we know and what our prospects don't know, okay? And make sure that we're not covering ground that they're going to get lost in, right? So here's what you do. Here's the way around that issue is certainly create a persona or an avatar, an imaginary prospect, whatever you want to call it. And, we like to put ourselves in their shoes. That's kind of a marketing it's a standard practice in marketing is, you create these avatars of the people that you want to become your customers. And that's a great idea. Put yourself in their shoes and imagine what that's like. But you want to go a step further, and there's documented research that demonstrates that even to the best of our knowledge when we're attempting to imagine what it's like to be our avatar, we still are missing the boat a lot of times. But what works is to actually go out and engage with them, find out what they really think and believe and feel by asking questions, give them surveys, engage with them on social media, heck, take them out to lunch, exchange phone calls, emails on a one-to-one basis and ask them, what are your concerns about this particular problem that that you can help them solve. So let's say if you're an eye doctor, you know, ask what are the things about visiting an eye doctor that, you know, really work for you, and what are the things that aren't so great for you? What could be better? And chances are you'll discover some things that you kind of took for granted, but your prospects will give you some insights into things that next time that you hold a sale, or if you're just simply attempting to reach out and find new customers, what was really going to work for them, what's really going to move the dial so that they become engaged with your business. Okay, so I hope that works for you, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you have questions, feedback on any of this, or if you'd like more tips, go to strategiccopy.com. And if you're not already there, and by all means, feel free to reply in the comments, call me, email, whatever. Always glad to hear your feedback and what it is that can help you grow your business. Thanks. Talk to you soon.